Welcome. I'm Jennifer Lee Levitz, the host of Unleash the Power of Age. This is a show from the Gloucester Council on Aging and the Rose Baker Senior Center. We have a guest today in the studio. Kerry McKenna is someone that I knew a little bit always from the Chamber of Commerce, but now we're both on the Community Preservation Committee, and I've gotten to know her a little bit, and I think it would be wonderful for all of you to get to know her more. And here is Kerry.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Let's see. We'd like to just chat, if that's okay with
great.
you.
Sure.
So I mentioned the Chamber of Commerce and the Community Preservation Committee. You're someone who's pretty involved here on Cape Ann.
Yes, I try to be.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about what you're doing these days?
So I retired from the Chamber about 4 years ago, and I think I've been as busy, if not busier, since I retired. I'm on a couple of different boards in town. I'm on the Community Preservation Committee for the City of Gloucester. I'm part of Awesome Gloucester.
Oh, I love Awesome Gloucester.
And I try to help out with different events that come up. People ask me if I can kind of step in and help them do certain things, and I do whenever I can. In fact, I'm helping Ringo Tarr on the Halloween party this coming Saturday at Stageport Park that he does each year for the kids. So that will be fun. I'm not quite sure what he's got me doing other than I'm part of a haunted obstacle course, and I'm hoping I can make my way through it without getting stuck. But so yes, I'm on the board of the Open Door and Discover Gloucester. I'm very excited about both of those. Enjoy that.
Let's come back to the Open Door because there's always a lot to say about that. I guess when I said, Chamber of Commerce, what did you do at the Chamber of Commerce?
I was the director of events, and so we did many events throughout the year. We did, first of all, for the Chamber alone, we would do a monthly event called the Business After Hours, which we're talking pre-pandemic time, and it was a very popular thing each week. Each month. And then we did the larger events. We did the block parties. We do Festival by the Sea in Manchester, Clam Fest in Essex, the Waterfront Festival in Gloucester. And it was always busy, and it was a lot of fun, and it was great exposure to the community, and it was a way to meet, for me personally, it was a way for me to meet a lot of people of Gloucester. And I enjoyed it very much. I was there for 6 or 7 years. Very much.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I gave my my resignation notice in January of 2020, and I said that I would stay through the end of March to get everything set up. And literally, my last week of work was at home.
That's right.
Yeah, it was kind of a crazy time. Tough year or two for Chamber.
I have a story about that the part of March, but it's not right for the show on this day. Had to do with hospital and surgery, so we won't go there. I'm curious about, I always like to find out about, so we talked more about now, we got a little middle, let's go to the beginning. So a little bit like your earlier life, how you got to Gloucester, what you were doing here, and what you used to do before Chamber of Commerce and like that.
Sure. So I've come to Gloucester my entire life. We used to rent a house on Revere Street in Annisquam, and we had 5 kids, and this little camp cottage had 2 bedrooms, and it had a kitchen that had a table for 2. So we had all of our meals out on a rock that was in the backyard, and we actually had a lot of fun. And we always had cousins and friends over. I don't know how my mom did it, but we did that until I was 16, and then I started working. I grew up in Winchester, Mass, and I would just come to Gloucester at that point just on the weekends. And then I think it was actually in 1991 I came back here for the summer with my own family. I have 3 children, and we rented a house on Diamond Cove and fell in love with it, and ended up buying a house there a few years later. And then fast forward to, I was an at-home mom for 24 years.
Wow.
Before that, I worked at Parker Brothers. I was actually in marketing. I was a product manager for Parker Brothers games. So now, fast forward with my kids, they all went off to college, and we were like living in Windham, New Hampshire, which is where my children grew up. And it was a rather large home, and I was there with 2 dogs and a cat. And I thought, when I put the house on the market, because I didn't think we needed to have that size of a home anymore. And again, all 3 were off to college at this point. When it sold, I came down to Gloucester to try and figure out what I was going to do next. And I thought, why am I not living here? I mean, I love it. We came every summer and for years. And so I decided to stay here. And that was in 2013. And I walked into the chamber and met Ken Reel, and he was looking for an events director. Hey, here I am. Let's do it.
Wow.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. And that job actually gave me the opportunity to meet a lot of people. And I think I didn't realize it at the time, but that was very fortuitous for me. I'm very happy that I had that opportunity to get to know a lot of people in not only Gloucester, but in Manchester, Essex, and Rockport.
Sure. I think we're all pretty lucky that you did that, and because I know that you've done a lot, and you continue to do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so well, that took care of your earlier life and your earlier time on Cape Ann and the chamber, and there must be more.
Well, I think being at the chamber, again, it exposed me to all of the businesses in Gloucester specifically, and since that's where I'm living, that's what I was focused on. And once I gave my resignation, I thought, I'm not somebody to just sit back and not be active. And a couple of different organizations had reached out to me if I wanted to either work part-time or be on their board. And I actually worked with the Anscombe Village Players on their board for a couple of years.
Oh, good.
And that was a lot of fun. And then Discover Gloucester asked me if I'd be on their board, which was a great, because of my interest in tourism and my experience with the chamber, I thought I had something to offer them. So I've been on that board for about 3 years now. I very much enjoy that. And then Julie, 2 years ago, I think, asked me if I would join the Open Door board. And of course, I love her and I love that organization. And
I agree.
I was very honored to be a part of that. So I did drop off of the Anscombe Village Players board that year because I just felt it was too much. Then community preservation, I love that. I think that's such a great opportunity for so many different organizations in town. And when I first joined, I think my goal was to get the word out there, because I don't think everybody understands and knows that money is available and what it can be used for.
I agree, and let's take a minute. Let's take a minute and talk about the Community Preservation Committee. I am on it because I'm on a board of the Housing Authority.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm the representative to know the community. The committee is made up of representatives from several areas of. There's the planning board and
Historical Society. And
let's
Historic Commission.
Planning board, the Housing Authority, the Historic Committee, the Environmental.
So that's Open Space and Recreation.
Open Space and Recreation, but the committee the actual board or committee from the town that
it would be Open Space.
It would be Open Space?
Open
okay.
Space, and then Recreation also. Yep.
Okay. And then there are 3 or 5 at large.
I think there's 3. I think it's
3. So you're an at large.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yep.
And there are 4 categories of giving for this. There is housing, there is open space, there is historic preservation, and the fourth one is Recreation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what do we do on the committee?
So we basically give out money, which is very fun and satisfying. So the community preservation money is available through taxes that we pay, our residential taxes.
That's right.
And this came into being, I think it was in 1989-ish that it was passed in the state of Massachusetts, and Gloucester approved. It's something that each community can decide to do or not to do. Gloucester approved, I believe it's a 1%.
1%, which,
yeah.
Okay, interruption.
Mm-hmm.
You can do up to 3%. Mm-hmm. And I am going to start advocating to go at least 2%. Because this is money that can go to the kind of project or work in the city that can't be done almost any other way. If you can afford 1%, 2% isn't that much more. And there can be exceptions. So I think we are going to mount some kind of a campaign to get that money higher. It's really beneficial, and we've seen it from the inside.
It is. It's really helpful. And right now, especially with the housing crisis as it is, we just never have enough money to give out to all the needs that we have in the city. And with housing becoming such a hot topic now, and it's so expensive, and if we could increase our funds, it would just really be beneficial to a lot of people, a lot of residents.
I think so. And the money is always taken up immediately, the share for historic preservation, because of course in Gloucester there's
rich with history. Yes.
So much history to be preserved.
Right.
We're beginning to get a leg up again on open space and recreation. That was sort of out of it for a while, but those projects are beginning to come forth again.
Which is great. Yeah,
I'm glad to hear that.
It's a great. It is. It's great. I mean, I'm very happy and proud to be on there. I'm glad that Gloucester is dedicated to it. And yes, I hope that at some point we can increase the amount of funds that we have to give out. We never have enough.
No. Are you? I know you're involved. Okay, we had looked at a grant for the Gloucester Stage Company. I'm bringing this up for a very personal reason, of course. And are you on the board at Gloucester Stage?
No, but no. I love the organization. Chris Griffith is a friend, and I'm very happy that we're able to help them out this year.
I know. I have not been directly involved for a long time, but there's a secret that most people don't know, is that I'm one of the people who helped start the Gloucester Stage Company back at the very beginning.
That's fascinating to me. I mean, that's a story right there.
There is, and I'll tell that whole story someday, but not the whole story today. I just wanted to bring it up in terms of looking at the Gloucester Stage Company as a project. So we are helping them, hopefully, knock wood, with they've applied for help with the roof and the brickwork, and they on their own, without getting funding from us, trying to get funding from us, they provided enough funding internally to set up a dock and bring people to the theater through the harbor. And what else do you know? I know you told me that you usher there.
Oh, no, I don't.
You don't usher there?
No, I do not.
You just go?
Yes, I just go for
Aren't
the
you
enjoyment.
good?
I would go to work. I would be put to work if they needed the help when I was there. Christopher asked me to help see people, I would be happy to help. But no, I just enjoy their entertainment.
Well, they've certainly come a long way.
Yes, they have. I think they've done great things in the last couple of years. I think the dock spaces was a wonderful idea.
It's a wonderful idea. Not only will people be able to go to the theater on a boat, get to the theater on a boat. They can't watch the theater on a boat. They can get to the theater on a boat. But they're going to have enough dockage there that they can rent some of it. So this project is going to bring money to them.
Mm-hmm.
It's very smart thinking, and it's great. That's one of the reasons we love this organization. They are together enough to need a little help, but then always on top of getting their own.
Mm-hmm.
They're very good at having dual purpose and thinking outside the box.
I think Chris Griffith, who's I think he's just the acting executive director there now, or interim.
Okay.
I think I'm not sure, but he's been great. He's a young guy and very creative and very smart and has wonderful ideas.
Very, very. Every question we asked him, he had it covered.
Yeah, he did.
No, that's
yeah.
So you are involved, but as an audience member at Gloucester Stage. Mm-hmm. And where else are you involved in town?
Senior care. I drive for Meals on Wheels.
You do?
Yes, I do. Paula Curley is a friend of mine. She just retired from there as well, but she was in charge of the Meals on Wheels program. And several years ago, they have an awareness month where they take out just local people. They'll take out the mayor and I think Bruce Carr and Ann Margaret and just different people within the community. And several years ago, they asked if Ken and I would go with them. And we did, and it was great. It was so fulfilling. And I told Paula that when I retired, I would give her 1 day a week. So I was making good on that promise, and that was 4 years ago. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, it's such a great program. And the people that we serve, sometimes we're the only human interaction they have for the day.
I know.
Yeah, it's great. It's been great.
I've never done Meals on Wheels. Mm-hmm. It's one of the things I haven't done. How many people do you go to? So
individually, I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do on a daily basis in total.
You.
For me, it's anywhere from 12 to 15.
Not many.
On a busy day. Yeah.
So is it all of Cape Ann or just Gloucester?
So they serve the whole the whole of the North Shore, I believe, or Cape Ann at least. I just work in Gloucester. I do the Riverdale section of Gloucester.
Okay.
And they have, Gloucester is kind of sectioned out with different. They probably give everybody 10 to 15 people homes to be delivering to, and it's kind of geographically set out, so it makes the route easier. You're in the same general area. And they do Manchester, Essex, and Rockport out of here. So yeah, but I know that they do Ipswich. I think that I pick up at the Rose Baker, and I believe that it's just the Cape Ann community that they serve with food that comes from there. But it's very fulfilling.
Rose Baker.
Mm-hmm.
So so you're retired, so you're of a certain age, you're an older adult.
Yeah.
Do you partake at Rose Baker?
I do not. I don't, other than I'm there every Wednesday to pick up the food that I'm delivering and bring it back. But it seems like a hopping place. They've got a lot of folks there every time that I'm there on a Wednesday morning.
It really is a hopping place. Okay, yeah. This is where I'm going to turn that into my commercial. I get one every show. There are a lot of people like you, Kerry, who don't. And I like to encourage people. There's an idea of who goes to the senior center and why. Mm-hmm. And people who have full, busy lives maybe don't think to go. Maybe there's nothing there for them. But really, you never know what you're going to find, that it's just for people who don't have anywhere else to go. It's just for lower income people. It's just for little old ladies in a walker. It's just for bingo. It's just for, but there are some great courses, and there's a group. Is it Mondays? What day is Mahjong? There's Mahjong. Right. There's bridge. There's there are a couple of wonderful. There's Tai Chi now. There are a couple of different yoga classes. There's so many I can't even think of all of them. And the parties are so much fun.
Yeah, they do a good job, I think. They've got a lot of programming. And yes, I think it's worth checking out
I think that aside from the services, I wanted this too much information. Every other month, there are 2 groups who go for the podiatrist. I have searched everywhere on the North Shore for a decent podiatrist, and the man who comes to Rose Baker, it's once a month, he is the best I've ever run into, and I'm not kidding.
Wow, that's great.
There are surprises everywhere for what you can get there. I get my taxes done. I see the podiatrist.
The whole Medicare, trying to sort out what's best for you to be once you start to enroll with Medicare. It's just so confusing, and they do a great job, I think, of helping people out.
They do a tremendous job of helping. For Shine, they have Shine counselors. There's a multilingual Shine counselor. There are a couple of people, Lydia Bertolino, who used to be the outreach coordinator, is retired now, but she comes back and does Shine. Our wonderful Safatia comes back and does Shine. And there are a few other counselors who work out of Rose Baker who do Shine. It's invaluable. How does the regular person know what the best Medicare option is? You're going to go to an insurance salesman? Sure, they're not out for themselves. So this is an impartial person who is trained and certified to help us. Thank you for bringing this up, Kerry. That was really great.
It's very important.
At the end of the show, that we'll be flashing the phone number for Rose Baker.
So at Rose Baker also, they do lunches, and I'm not sure if it's just once a week. I know on Wednesday when I'm there, which is the day I drive from Meals on Wheels, they have a lunch that's always full with people and smells good.
Well, those people are there for bingo. Bingo is on Wednesday and Friday, and that lunch on Wednesday is the senior care lunch
that they provide.
And that's the same lunch that you're taking out for Meals on Wheels. It's Thursday and Friday. This will be a great segue back to Open Door. We have what's called Rosie's Cafe. And Rosie's Cafe was started during the pandemic, actually. So people could, first of all, get food. Open Door was providing food every day, at some time or another at Rose Baker. But they started doing a lunch. It's a soup, sandwich, salad, chips, dessert, and it comes in a bag. And once we got the okay, when most older adults or seniors were clear to be together, that we would be able to sit down at Rose Baker and eat the picnic lunch instead of just taking it away. And that's still going on. So Rosie's Cafe with the lunch from Open Door is on Thursdays and Fridays, both.
Yeah. And I think, do they bring the mobile market there on Fridays as well?
Once a month. The last
okay.
Friday of the month, there is a mobile market, and that's for get 2 full bags of produce, canned stuff, something special. Maybe even on Thanksgiving there might be a gift card, and seniors, older adults can sign up, and once a month we do have a visit from the mobile market.
Yeah, and that's through the Open Door.
Through the Open Door. So could you tell us what the mobile market is?
Sure. Yes, it's a truck that's stocked with fresh produce and some canned goods, and it goes to several different places all around Cape Ann. And a new one is on the horizon. I don't think it's up and running yet, but I think it's the beginning of November. There should be another one, and it's great. I mean, it's not. It travels. They go to Danvers. I think they might be going to North Shore Community College. I mean, they really, it's a way to get food out there to people. Food insecurity is obviously such a big issue, not only here in Cape Ann, but everywhere. And the Open Door does a great job of getting food into the hands of people who need it.
There's a way of looking at it that I love, that I heard a couple of years ago. that there are people whose income is shrinking and shrinking, and with what people call inflation, it makes it harder to buy food. So food has to be first. So they're buying food and then don't have the money for other things. If you can get some of your food through Open Door,
yeah,
then you have money to use for your other things. So even over the past couple of years, I have had food from the Open Door. I used to get meals from the Open Door. I needed to, because if I wasn't spending that money on food, then I had it for my other things. So,
they have a great, it's called the Corner Market, their new facility over on Emerson Ave. And it's like a grocery store. Incredible, the way that it's stocked with food. And you can literally go there and go shopping. And it's wonderful. Again,
there is what is the who can go there? Can anybody go in?
I believe so. So I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
But if you called the Open Door, they're very helpful in pointing you the right direction for where your need may be. But yes, if you're in need of food, they are not going to turn you away.
Really?
So,
There's
yes, absolutely.
I would like to say one more thing. Well, first of all, we'll put the Open Door phone number at the end of the show also, along with the Rose Baker number. And that way you can find out what you need to about getting help, whether you think it or not, or if you really don't need anything, or even if you do need something, you can maybe help.
Absolutely. Volunteers are always needed at the Open Door. They actually have a program where you can phone your food order in, your grocery order, and they have volunteers that pick and put it together, and then you can drive up and they'll put it right in your car for you. So they have shifts every day, and they need volunteers. They also deliver meals similar to senior care. They need drivers to deliver meals. Absolutely. If you have some time, and again, it's a great way for seniors to get involved and to get moving and to be out there. And if you're able to do these things, why not help out somebody else that's not able to do it?
As long as we can and as much as we can.
And
I
it's
agree.
great to be busy. It feels good to be busy and to feel needed and to just move around. It's a wonderful way to meet people, like-minded people, and yeah, it's great. So the Open Door absolutely would welcome you as a volunteer.
But thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you do, all that you've done, and all that you continue to do. And
thank you. It's just keeping busy. Getting old ain't for sissies. Thank you.
Thank you.